blown off.
Blown off, yeah. Like, even though sometimes you can induce bluffs and pick off bluffs, it's... Scott, what do you think about those in those spots?
I mean, actually, I did that earlier today. If you remember, I potted a river on a 4-card straight with like bottom 2 in like a weird spot for like very kind of same reason you're talking about, and then just got called by a straight, and like he didn't even consider raising when he had 2 10s in his hand. Like he had the blockers to the bigger straight. Like I couldn't believe he didn't raise that there. But then I guess it worked because I was going to check call anyway. So I might even get weaker hands to call me.
This is an interesting spot for Torelli. I mean, Conception's opened, and Tony's 3-bet to 1,200. Like, Torelli was sitting here for a while watching Tony. He knows he can 3-bet light pre-flop.
But at the same time, with 2 10s, he might just flat call, which does make his hand pretty transparent. But he does raise. But he's going to be. He does put in a 4th bet here, Alec. But it's going to be a very awkward situation for him if Tony puts in the 5. Might just have to fold.
Jocko wasn't going to throw in a cold 5-bet there.
Jocko did that a couple of times.
He's always got that club in his bag.
He does, I know. I was like, he had ace-5 of diamonds. I'm like, I was just going to, like, do something fun here.
And Scott, I mean, this is what deep stack poker means. Like, Tony's sitting there with what's essentially a nut hand, but with 17,000, you get a little worried about putting in.
Absolutely, and you can even argue this by Torelli. This is like a feeler bet. Wants to know if he's ahead now, and like see if he should be going with a lot of flops that contain 3 low cards. So Tony, in Alec's mind,
he's just flatted here, Tony.
Tony's disguising the strength of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, I like flatting here.
So Alec probably believes he's got the best end here.
Because Tony kind of thinks to himself, well, if I stick in the next bet, it's only kings and aces that I'm getting action from.
Exactly. He's like either way ahead or way behind a lot of times here. So
he also thinks probably 7 deuces in his range.
And
this might get him unstuck, depending how this goes. But it's not a great board for queens. Does have 2 hearts there. He's got backdoor heart draws, backdoor straight draws. It's not. I mean, it's actually probably better than average flop for queens, but it's not great. He's not going to want to stick in a lot of money here. He's going to check call at best. He's never going to raise here. I don't think, Tony. Probably just going to check call.
Well, there's already 7K in the pot. Even check calling is going to get the money in.
Right, check calling by the river, depending on turn of the river, can get the money in here. Maybe he decides he wants to go with it and check raise calls off. Try to induce a jam with from a 10.
Who's in position?
Alec is.
Oh.
Yeah, it's small blind, big blind here.
I mean, unless he thinks he has jacks, it won't fold. There's no point in raising.
But if Tony check raises here, he's going with his hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Based on the pot size.
But I don't know if he will.
I mean, I guess the question, and you were at the table with Torelli, Scott, how often can Torelli ever have sort of an air hand here? Can he ever have, the 4-5 a diamond type things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are also playing the 7 deuce game, so that's always in people's heads at this point.
The 7 deuce, of course.
That hasn't come up in a little while.
Does anybody win with that?
There's been several. Everyone but me, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I lost some money in that game.
You dusted off about 6,000 one hand.
What did Jocko have there when I flatted it under the gun and then
stone? I think he had 2 kings or something. I mean, he just had it. He just had it.
No, Tony looks like he's gonna fold.
No way.
No?
I mean, it's an incredible pass if he makes it, right?
This would be a world-class fold. He's probably doing it because he would put him on kings, put Alec on kings, not 10s, but nonetheless, it would still be a great fold. But there's no way he's thinking about folding. I don't
know. He looked at his hand like he.
I think he's thinking about how to continue. I think he's thinking, should I just call here? Should I check raise and call off my stack? Should I do something weird and just jam? Should I check call here just to kind of let him barrel and just call off? I mean, I think this is what's going through his head. He still might not love the spot, but I don't see him folding to a single bet here. If he did, this would be just. I mean. Just a great fold.
I mean, it's not like they're that deep. He's only got 15K back on what was a 6K pot.
This is why I think he's probably thinking about what the best way is to. He's probably deciding
I'm going to get the money in.
All right. And the question is, should he just check call here? Should he check raise call off? Should I check call then check call again on the turn?
22. I couldn't go last year. I could go last year. Time,
I feel like he just senses something because he's like rubbing his head. He's like looking at his cards. He's got like his radar's up here. He really doesn't like the spot.
I still don't think he's folding this flop.
He folds.
Wow.
See? I picked it up. Like,
I mean, that's just, you just have to salute him here.
yeah.
You just can't, I mean,
He's playing so well post flop.
Yeah, he's a great post flop player. Every time I watch him play, his live reads are really, really good.